This is my presentation for AMGT 402. I will be demonstrating the proper procedures on how to dismount a tire, do a flat repair on the tire, remount a tire, and also rebalance a tire. So come on over here and follow me. First step, you're going to release the air by releasing the valve core. Releasing the air. You want to wait till most of the air is out so you don't damage the tire. Then next, you're going to break down the top bead of the tire. You're going to break down the top bead of the tire. Then you're going to rotate it around and also break down the back part of the bead of the tire. Next step, you're going to take the wheel and tire and you're going to place it on the changer. Then you're going to release the clamp so it clamps the wheel down so it doesn't come off. Next thing you want to do is you want to line up the valve stem here, just in case you have TPMS sensors, tire pressure monitoring system. You don't want to break the sensor, so you want to. Then you're going to bring your duck head down, and you want to place it directly over the sensor so you do not break the sensor on the process of taking it off. You're going to release it and it's going to turn, taking the top bead off the tire. And once the top bead of the tire comes off, you want to pull it back forward. You want to get your stick down there and underneath the second bead so you can get the tire completely off the rim. That's how you take the rim off, take the tire off. Then come on over here and I'll show you guys how to properly do a flat repair on the tire. First thing you want to do is remove any of the foreign objects that are in the tire. Like this had a little screw in it. Once you remove the foreign object, you want to drill that area out so then you can put for the new plug to go into. So I'm going to drill it out. You also want to do it from the other side so you make sure you get a proper hole through so the plug will come through a lot easier. Your next step is you're going to take the top inside layer of the tire off. So when we come to the next couple steps, we're going to use a rubber prep that's going to help us take off the inside layer of the tire so the glue can vulcanize to it so we can put the rubber patch in through it so it stays all in place. So I'm going to take the top layer off here. Okay, now the top layer is off. Next step, you're going to take the rubber prep to get all the excess that's loose that's in there. You're going to spray it in there. You're going to take the scraper, scrape it all down so it's not in contact with where we're trying to put the rubber prep in. Now you have a nice clean surface, so when you put the glue on the next step, it'll help your it'll help it all go in there, help it all stay. So next we're going to use the glue to help help the repair kit stay in. Glue's going to go on the spot that we just got done doing. You want to make sure that that glue dries very well, because if not, here at the next step, the patch will just slide around in there. So our next step, we're going to take the patch apart. Got to take this off, because you don't want any contaminants on the side, so it stays to your tire. So you're going to take this, put it directly through the hole, and then on the other side, you're going to come over here, and you're going to pull that through. You're going to pull right through the other side. And then once it comes through, you want to double check to make sure that it's flush, because if it's not flush, you'll get air in there. So you don't want no air. You want it sealed really tight when you get it done. And then you snip off the end on this end. You want it flush with the tread on this side. Next step, you just want to make, it just pushes it down just to make sure that it's completely sealed properly. So you just go side to side, and then up and down. Simple as that. Then next, you got to make sure to take this little plastic piece off, because if you don't take this plastic piece off, you can't do the next step of the process. You got to take this plastic piece off. Then the last and the final step is you want to put the inner liner sealer. This is pretty much the main glue that holds it in there. That keeps it all nice and tight over the years, especially you want these patches to last for the length of the tire. So you get a good amount. And you're just going to rub it all around the area, all around the surface area on the inside. You want to get it around all the corners so it makes sure that it doesn't leak. So then when it's all said and done, this is what it should look like when it's all done with the flat repair process. A lot of companies use rope plugs and stuff, but by the tire standard, it is not the standard anymore, rope plugs. It's to actually take it out and do this process to the tire. Now we're going to go back, and whenever you're changing a tire out, you want to replace the valve stem. A lot of the valve stems, they'll get corroded over time. So you just want to take this, push it up, and the valve stem will break right through. Then you're going to take another valve stem, take the cap off, put this right through the top, take the tool, spin it on there, then you're pull it up and through, and you want to make sure you hear a little click down in there so you know that the valve stem actually comes all the way through. Because if you don't have it all the way through, it's going to leak in there. Then your next process, you're going to put this tire back on. You want to make sure that there's not a lot of corrosion on there, which this one's not too bad. Next step, you want to make sure that you lube the tire up very well, because if not, it helps prevent against damage of the tire, because they like to break up here if you don't lube them up correctly. So you're going to put a nice thin coat of lube all the way around it. And you're going to flip around and do the same to the other side. Then the next step, you're going to bring it over here. You're going to flip it so it's down. You're going to bring the duct head back over. Bring it down to the proper position that you need it. And then lock it in place. Next, you want it like positioned like this. So when we start moving it, the bottom bead will actually make contact with the wheel and go down. So I'm going to spin it. Bottom bead is now down. So now I'm going to take the top bead, push it down, do the same process. You want to make sure you hold pressure here so it actually goes on. pull. Now the tire is properly on the wheel. You're going to release your duck head. And the next step, you're going to put the proper air pressure for this tire that's going on the vehicle. Which at most of your vehicles, newer vehicles, will tell you on the driver's door on the inside what the proper air is for the tire. A lot of people think that the air pressure on the tire is the proper air pressure. That is not. That is actually the top pressure that this tire should ever be aired up to. So for this vehicle, it's going to go on an Alero, so it's supposed to be at 32 PSI. And then as I air it up, you're going to hear some popping and stuff, because that's the actual seating of the tire with the wheel. And it's at about 32 pounds, but once we get over to the balancer, I'll recheck it, just to double check. And then next, I'm going to press it to release the wheel. So now I can take the wheel off. And we're going to come on over here to the balancer. Your first step here is you want to find the proper cone that's going to go on the back through the tire, or back through the wheel. This one, you want it to fit about 75% of the cone. So this is the proper one for it. So you want to take this cone, put it on through. Next step, you're going to put your wheel and tire up there, slide it all the way through so that it meets right there. Then you want to clamp it all down so it's nice and tight so the wheel doesn't free spin or spin freely. You want it to be nice and tight so you get a proper balance on the wheel. You're going to take this, spin this. And then you just want to push it down a little bit so it gets a nice little snug. Just like that. You want a nice and snug. And then over here, I'm going to check the air again too, just to make sure that it's at 32 PSI. And a cool feature with this machine is that it actually beeps at you when it is done. The next step, you want to set this wheel up for proper balance. You want to take this arm over here, and then there's another arm on the inside right here. And then you're going to push down here on the bottom. And then this is going to give you the proper readings. It's going to measure the wheel, how far it is. Like this is a 16-inch wheel, it's going to measure it all for me, so I have to do no measurements myself. So it measures that it's a 16-inch wheel, the size, diameter, and everything of this wheel. Now we're good to go. We're going to lower this down, and it's going to balance it all for itself. And then these machines are also very new in the industry. They're newer ones. So they have a road force. The road force is going to tell you how much play is in that tire. So when you're going down the road, you know how much of a play you're going to get. Like the road force on this is in the green limit. It's only 3. It's only 3, which is very good. Normally for a P tire, a passenger tire vehicle, you want it to be below 18, but 3 is very great, so it's saying that this tire is going to have not a whole lot of play in it when it's on the, or you're not going to feel a lot of play when it's actually on the road. Okay, so this tire, an tire and wheel, it just needs 3/4 of an ounce of weight. So I'm going to take 3/4 of an ounce of weight and hammer, and then place it on the groove of the rim, right here on top. You want to place it right here on top. And this is actually going to tell you, when you're doing this, you want to place it, if it's on the outside, you want to place it right here. And if it's on the inside, you want to place it directly at the 12 o'clock noon position. So I'm going to take this, hammer this on directly on the 12 o'clock position. Then I'm going to lower it, and it's going to tell me if this wheel and tire is properly balanced. It's going to say okay, okay if it's okay, or if not,